All right, good morning, YouTube. Wanted to share with you my experiences yesterday. And again, it's all based on my perceptions and what was shown to me. I understand that sometimes people have a little duality, so what may have been presented to me may be presented differently elsewhere or once they get around other people. Um, I had some things I had to do yesterday, and the things I'm going to discuss are about interactions because that's what makes our day. Um, so Oh, the first thing, I don't know how I could forget this. Um, I was in the store and I said I was going to take pictures daily, but I didn't get a chance, so I didn't get back until late yesterday. But I was in the store and I was looking at lotion. And next thing I know, this is what my mom would call a naughty boy. um, Approached me. I didn't notice. It was just so weird because I was staring at the lotion and because I was trying to, because very frugal means right now. Well, always. I'm always frugal, so it's nothing new. But there was a young man. I know he was noticed he was standing beside me, but I didn't really pay attention because I figured he's looking at stuff too. So next thing I know, he says, "Excuse me, how you doing?" And I look at him, and what I see is what appears to be, excuse me, a boy about 19 years old, African. Well, I won't say African American, but brown skin, so probably African American, with what appears to be like acne or dark blotches on his skin, and a baseball cap, a baggy red shirt, some baggy like tan I don't know what you call them, like swim trunk looking pants, and some sandals. Now, and some glasses. So he looked like a really like a naughty boy, like a little. He just looked what's the it's what my mom would call a naughty boy. I don't know how to let me see if I can. I should never say I don't know. Let me see if I can describe, put it into words. Like he just looked kind of freaky geeky. And so I looked at him and like yes, like maybe he needed help or something. I was like yes, because he was like excuse me, and I said yes, and then he says, "What's your name?" And I'm looking at him, and it's one of those moments where it's like it didn't connect. I'm like what, like it was weird to me, uh, um, because I'm looking at lotion, and there's like a geeky boy, literally a boy like 19 boy, and at least that's how he appeared to me. And why in the world, why is he asking me my name? And he kind of pulled me out of my world of me focusing on trying to, find like a small thing of lotion for like $1, So I'm like, he pulled me, kind of snatched me out of my zone. And so I'm really focused on what I'm doing. And then he's like, excuse me. And I'm thinking he needs help. And then he's like, what's your name? So it just threw me for a loop. And I'm looking at him like, are you serious? And then I was like, it was just silence. He remained silent. And I was like, what? And he was like, what's your name? And then the thing about it that really was odd to me, and again, the thing about perception, maybe just my perception, I don't want to, even though nobody knows who I'm talking about, no, I don't want, and I don't even know the person. I don't want to put out any negative perceptions or Ari perceptions, AWRY. There are none, but then when I said what, he said, "What's your name?" And he was like going into his pocket, and it just seemed really like freaky, creepy to me. Like he was going into his pocket to like touch himself. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at him, and I just had this look on my face, like, what is going on? And so I'm looking at him like I know he is not about to do that. And so I look at him again in his face, and I'm like, what? And then he was just like, "What's your name?" And then he could see the persona that he was trying to give off was one of just weirdness. Um, it was weird, man. Like, like he was like something was wrong with him. Like he was just being really weird. And so when I was just so shocked and amazed and just like disgusted and comedic all at the same time. It was just so many things at once that, he started to break character. He started to almost start laughing. And so I was just like, you know, at that point, because he had his hand in his pocket, he's looking at me, and I'm like, I was like, boy, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I walked away, and I just left that aisle as far as I could. And oh, but prior to that, when he asked me my name, he kept asking me and was insistent. I just told him, Miss Jones, because I thought, he's flirting. That'll throw him off and that'll make him leave me alone. So I left and I walked around the corner, just to get away from there. I just wanted to be away from him because that was just creepy weird. It's one of those things where, um, I mean, about me, I like to write, so all types of writing. I write erotic fantasies and things like that from time to time, but normally because my imagination is so vivid, I can't, It's one of those things where it's like what would be appropriate for a bad erotic fantasy was like somehow put into reality, and that just was like, what in the world? And because reality is different, that type of stuff. What's okay? I should do a video about that. What's okay in fantasy is just creepy, it's just not acceptable in reality. I mean, honestly, and because it's just weird, it's very weird, 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 weird. And when I think about it, this is like maybe the second time that this has happened to me. And those, to me, children are bold. You know what I'm saying? Miss Jones did not scare him because what happened was, when I thought all had cleared and, he's definitely had to have left the store by then, I went over to where, they had some little sets and stuff like that. Next thing I know, creepy boy is right next to me again. And he was like, "Excuse me, Miss Jones." And I'm like horrified. I was like, eh, 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 eh. He's like, "Excuse me, Miss Jones." And he's calling me by that name. And I'm like, oh no. And he knows that's a fake name. And he's like, "Excuse me, Miss Jones, can you tell me how much this costs?" The price is big as day on it. And I'm looking at him and I'm trying, I don't want to feed into it. So I'm not smiling. I'm not joking. I'm looking at him and if anything, I'm trying to come off creepy, like angry, like old woman creepy. And I'm like, um, I don't know how much that is, sweetheart. You have to ask the people that work here. You know, I'm like, it's just the creepiest thing. What in the world is wrong with people? What was he expecting to happen? You know what I'm saying? Why would you put me in that predicament? Or maybe he really was slow. You know what I'm saying? Or something was wrong with him. I was tempted to ask him where was his mother or something like that, but then, if he comes in the store all the time and people know him, then that would make me seem crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, you know, I don't understand it. That was just the weirdest experience ever. So yeah, sharing that. I can't believe it took me 10 minutes to share that. But anyways, yeah.